All right, and welcome back to season 7 of our show. And today it's pork chops, the thin ones, and we're grilling them up with a couple of fantastic southern sides. Let's show you how to get it done. Take a look at these chops. Now these are the variety pack. I stopped in the store and the butcher happened to cut all these up. They call it a variety pack and they put different types of chops in here. Got some loin, got some regular just T-bone chops in here. So we're gonna grill these up. First thing I'm gonna do is just get them in a bowl, just like that. Before we get this going, we got two amazing sides. We're doing some string beans. We're gonna have some rice with pigtails, and you're gonna enjoy this dish because they're complete southern meals, probably lost meals that nobody's ever seen before in years, and we're gonna show you those pigtails and rice. All right, here's our pork chops. So we got some spices here. Now if you take a look in here, I just dump all my spices in here, oregano, garlic. I got onion powder, garlic powder in here, and this is what you want to do, just mix them up. And every time I go to do my seasonings, I always mix up a fresh batch. So get them mixed up like that, and we're just going to get them on. So I'm going to do the first side, hit them hard with a good douse of that. We got some salt. Let's get some salt in there. And then we got a heavy gauge black pepper. We're gonna get that in there. Just like that. We're gonna flip them over, and then we're gonna repeat. You never go wrong by putting them in a bowl like this because it's just a nice, neat way how to do it. This way you're not getting spices all over your table. And just turn them over so you can see where you are. So I'm gonna go in some more salt, just like that. Feel it out, make it yours, diamond crystal, low sodium salt. Here's the spices again. Good amount. And then again, we go in with a little bit of that black pepper. Now I like a lot of this black pepper when it's grilled, so I hit it pretty hard. Just like that. All right, we're going in with a lemon. I'm gonna cut it and drop it in. Don't worry about the seeds. Just squeeze a good lemon in there. Going with a couple of halves of that. And then we're gonna mix this up in just a little bit here. I'm going in with 2 of them. And just squeeze them in. Like I said, don't worry about the seeds, because as they're on the grill, you can push them off. They're gonna fall through the grates anyway, so don't worry about them. And then right here we have some mustard oil. So we're gonna go in with a good amount of the mustard oil. Now a lot of you guys aren't used to seeing mustard oil. It's not very common, but you can order some online. And it gives a wonderful flavor in here. It's also gonna keep these from sticking to the grill and get all these nice flavors marinated in here. So let's give these a mix. Mix them up well. These smell outstanding. I mean, just that flavor of the lemon, the herbs, spices we put in here. Got a little oregano in there too for an herb. So I always try to throw an herb in there too. And just get them seasoned up well. And there you have it. So we got that mustard oil in there. And all those spices. You're not gonna go wrong with this one. All right, so I'm gonna take these guys, just get them back on the tray, get our lemon in here, and that's it. All right, we're gonna meet you right back here, clean up, and we're gonna show you the rest of this meal, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so those pork chops are marinating. While they're marinating, we're gonna show you a very old-fashioned rice. It's pigtails, peas, and rice. Let's show you how to get it done. So for this dish, of course, you're gonna need some pigtails. Now I got some beautiful pigtails here. They're nice and cured, and they're cured by me. And we're gonna leave a link in the description to a ham hock video showing you guys how to cure that. For you guys that have been watching our channel, you know we cure our own meat. So here we go, beautiful pigtails. We got some rice here. This is old school Uncle Ben's rice, parboiled. That's what we're using today because that's what I grew up on. You're gonna need some peas. We're using frozen peas today because they work excellent in this dish. And if you use sometimes the fresh pea, they're not gonna get done in time. That's why the frozen peas come in handy. So you're gonna need an onion. So we're gonna just chop up some onion. Now the first thing we're doing is making a stock. So I'm using the first half of this onion to make a stock. So we're going in the pressure cooker with this. Pigtails in the pressure cooker. You're gonna pressure cook these for about 45 minutes, let them natural release. Let's get some water in there. And you're gonna lock this on for about an hour. So all total, natural release, 45 minutes in the cooker, and natural release for another 15 minutes, hour on the clock, and that stock in there is gonna be beautiful. So we're using the pigtails, and the pigtails make their own stock. So let's lock this on, and we'll meet you back here when we pull this out. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we got 25 minutes left on our pressure cooker. While we're waiting on our pressure cooker, let's show you an amazingly simple green bean dish. Let's get it done. All right, check out our string beans. Now these are organic string beans. I always try to get them locally. I got these locally from Florida. Florida's just right next door, so I go into Florida. Always try to get your string beans local if you can, and always try to get organic and go fresh with them because they use a lot of pesticides in green beans, so you always want to go nice and fresh and local. So right here we got a purple onion. This is how we're gonna cut this up. Just like this, cut it in half, and just floor it. Just in 4 pieces. So half, and half again. So we're putting this right inside the string beans. It's gonna offer a lot of flavor. I know it looks like a lot of onion, it's really not. And we're using a purple onion today, or a red onion. You can call them both, just because they offer a lot more sweeter of a flavor. We got garlic here. Now, I didn't do anything but chop off the woodies on here. I'm not crushing them, I'm not releasing any flavor. I want this to be very mild inside this dish, so I'm leaving them whole, and I'm putting that much in, that's right. All right, here's our andouille, the star of the show. I'm gonna cut them in half, and then I'm just gonna dice them from the side. So you can dice them fancy, so just go like this. And you can just get fancy with them. And the more you go down the side, the more fancier they get. So you can just come in with slivers. Doesn't matter which way you dice them, but they kind of look pretty inside the string bean. And they offer a great look. See that? Just chop them up just like that. And it's very simple. So olive oil is the oil of choice we're using today because we want olive oil in this dish. We want a lot of flavor, so that olive oil is going to give us a lot of flavor and a few health benefits as well too. I just like the taste of olive oil in something so gentle like this. Vinegar. You're going to need a little white wine vinegar. That's what we're using today. That's just going to bring out the brightness in this dish and give that little nice sharpness. And that's it. So we're going to get this out of the pressure cooker, do our rice, get this going, and then we're cooking up those pork chops last minute because they cook quickly. All right, we'll meet you back here. Get that food out the pressure cooker. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, pigtails are out of the pressure cooker and now it's time to cook. Let's show you how to get it done. The first thing we're gonna do is cook this rice. Here's that beautiful broth that the pigtails were in. So we're gonna need these two right off the bat. We need some onion, a bay leaf. We got those serrano peppers here, and those are gonna go in the rice and they're gonna give a lovely flavor, but we don't wanna break those open because it's gonna make the rice too hot. And here's our pigtails. I want to show you how soft these are. You're going to take that spoon and get the skin right up. See this? That's how tender they are. So you can actually just take a piece of that right out. And that's how you want that. You want them nice and tender. Onto the stove we go. All right, so we got an onion sweating down now. A little olive oil in here. And when it starts to become translucent, you want to get all your rice in. Give this a little spin here. Let it soak up some of that flavor in here. Now we're not looking to brown this rice, we're just looking to get it to soak up all that nice flavor from the onion. And now you got that, and with the broth. This is hot broth. So I'm gonna get it right over the rice. I'm gonna go all the way with it. This is exactly what I need. 2 cups of rice to 4 cups of liquid. Let's stir that in. We're gonna get our bay leaf in, our peppers. Drop both of those guys in. And that's it. We're going to let this come up to a boil. When we see the rice, we're going to cover it. And then we're going to add everything else, and we'll show you what to do when we get back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so we got this on low simmer now, and just when you start to see the rice, slow it down, get it on low simmer, let the bubbles chill out. And once you see them at that pace, you want to put the lid on. Now we're going to cook the rice about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add all the rest of our goodies here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, rice is almost done. Take a look at that. So at this point, we're going to get our peas in. Get them all in. I'm going to give this a stir. Just like that. This is going to get the peas nice and warmed up in here. So this is why you don't want to use fresh peas, because if you use fresh peas, they're going to take too long to cook. I mean, these are fresh, but they're frozen. But if you go with a regular fresh pea, they're going to take way too long to cook. And your rice is not going to come out right. So let's just get that like that. And then we're going to add our pigtails in. I'm going to try not to put any more liquid in because I got this rice perfect to where I want it. So look at that. Now we got our pigtails in. And that's it. I'm going to put the lid back on and warm those pigtails back up, but that rice is pretty much done. That's it. Let's go put some pork chops on. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, that rice and pigtails is chilling out. It's on low on the stove. It's done. We're just waiting for it to cook. Now it's time to cook our string beans. Let's give you a recap of what we have going on here. Alright, again, very simple meal. String beans, andouille sausage. Here's our purple onion, vinegar, and garlic. We're starting this off with a little extra virgin olive oil. Onto the stove we go. Alright, our sausage and our garlic is browning down. That's what you want to do. You want to brown it, get the flavor out of that garlic and the sausage. If you don't brown the sausage, these beans are going to be a bit flat. So you want to give these green beans plenty of flavor here, so always brown your meat first. So as we're browning that meat, we're going to get the onion in. And that's going to get the meat nice and soft too. And it's going to cook down. So we're going to cook this down. Get everything nice and soft in here. Then we're going to throw those green beans in last. Put a little white wine vinegar in there. Put the lid on and let them simmer. Then we're going to go cook those pork chops. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we're cooking down lovely here. Take a look at that. Let's give it a little flip. And now it's time to get the green beans in. So let's go with green beans. And just get them in. Give them a little flip. Mix everything in. And there we go. And as always, I'm going to clean my glass top. I've been through several of these tops already. Alright, so we're going to let this cook down. Give it about 5 minutes. We're going to put the lid on it, but before we put the lid on, we're going to hit it with the white wine vinegar. We'll meet you back here when we do that, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, our green bean combo is cooking nice. Give it a little stir. And it's coming along lovely. Now we just need to deglaze this pan and get a little flavor off. Here's the white wine, vinegar. Just a splash. That's all you need. I'm going to turn this up on high heat just for a second. just to pick up everything on the bottom. Get that vinegar heated up. See that? I'm gonna scrape the bottom, just like that. Get all that nice flavor up. All right, now I'm gonna drop it down on low simmer. When on low, low, low. Drop the hood on. And it's done. Let's go cook some chops. Let's get these chops on. We got a nice hot grill. Keep these guys a little separated and get them on. Just know your hot spots on your grills. You're not going to have any problems. I'm going to make some room. Get the rest of these guys on here. There's always room on the grill. So there you go. So I'm cranking this about 500 degrees for right now. I'll turn it down as I go along, but that's about it. All right, we're gonna meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, about 4 minutes in. Time to check these. Turn them over. Find out where our hot spots are. All right, there we go. We're looking right. I put the thin chops in the back as my cool spot. Now you can turn these as much as you want, as long as they come out right. These are on a little higher rack, so I'm cooking these real slow, but I will turn them over. Then we'll flip them over again. There it is. All right, I'm gonna start swapping some of these out, putting them in the hot spots here. I'm taking these ones and putting them in the cool spots. That's why I have 2 different levels on this rack. Meet you back here once more. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got about 15 minutes cook time in here, and I've just been flipping these guys around. That's about it. But they're cooking right. I got some on the top level. And just make them to your desired doneness. I'm gonna put that guy up top right there. It's looking good. That's it. I'm gonna finish this up and we'll meet you inside, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Let's get them off. All right, there we go. Let's shut this down, and look at that. They're all looking right. Now get these on a platter that you can keep the juice. So no paper, because you're gonna lose all that nice juice that you work so hard to get with all that nice flavor. And there we are. All right, we're gonna get these inside and onto the chopping block, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and here we are on season 7's chopping block. Grilled pork chops, pigtails and rice, and a gorgeous green beans, one andouille sausage. Let's show you what we got. Look at those beautiful chops. They're looking right. I'm gonna spin them around for you so you get a good look at them. 15 minutes on the grill, can't complain. Look at this rice. That pigtail rice looks spot on, right? The color, simplicity, looks great. So something so simple and basic that has a lot of punch. And those string beans, those are my favorite. I can have those with cornbread all day long. All right, let's get into it. Let's get these off to the side. And I'm gonna bring in a plate for us. Let's get a couple of these nice chops on here. Now I like the fatty ones that are a little bit more on the crispy side. But we'll have a couple of lean ones too, just to show you guys. There we go. And let's get into that pigtail. Now that pepper in the middle, that offers some heat. So for you guys that like the peppers with the heat, actually I'm gonna put that pigtail back, park it on top of some rice. And we'll get that nice pigtail in there. Let's get a smaller one. We'll park it right there. And then we gotta have some room on the plate for those string beans. So let's just straighten up the plate a bit. And look at these guys. That's the way to have string beans. And get some of that nice sausage in here. Looks like a nice southern plate, right? All right, let's organize this plate, straighten it up a little bit, and clean up. And I'm gonna spin this around for you guys so you can see what I'm looking at. There you go. All right, I'm gonna try this pork chop. The flavor in that pork chop is out of hand. Excellent pork chop, fantastic. Very flavorful. You can taste all the spices we put in here. That mustard oil, it shines, it comes through. So don't think that you don't taste that mustard oil. And mustard oil doesn't exactly taste like mustard itself. It has a hint of it in there, but it has a very unique taste of its own. You just have to try it and see. Outstanding. All right, let's give that pigtail a try. Just want to show you how tender this is. See that? That's a pigtail. You can see all that nice meat in there. You would just pick this up and eat it, like I'm gonna do right now. Soft, smoky, fatty. You can really taste a lot of that meat in there. So a lot of people think that pigtails have no meat. That has plenty of meat on there, and it just tastes outstanding. We're gonna give it a shot with that rice. This meal speaks volumes. It's a blast from the past. It will take you right back there if you've never had pigtails before. Now's the time to try them. They're fabulous. Last but not least, let's give those string beans a go. Simple, but yet bold, delicious. The flavor of the andouille with the onion is superb. The garlic just sets it off. It's an excellent dish. You really taste everything in there for something so simplistic and simple. That's about as southern as that gets. All right, we're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. Beautifully grilled pork chops. We grilled those using mustard oil. Hope you guys give that a try. The taste on there is outstanding. Right on side of that, pigtails and rice with peas. That is a very, excellent dish. I highly recommend that one to you guys. And on the side of that one, we threw down with green beans, with andouille sausage, garlic, splash of vinegar. That'll bring you right back to the old days. Like always, we enjoyed you guys. With no further ado, gotta get that last Pitmaster chop there.